guys, Sylvia here in our kitchen, your Pampered Chef consultant, and I wanted to come on today to show you something really cool. I'm going to be making 5-minute dough, 5-minute dough in the deluxe cooking blender. Oh my goodness, dough in a blender. I think this is super cool. I'm going to start it off from scratch and show you what I'm doing, and you can check out all the Pampered Chef tools I use. And what is the end result? I'm making hot cinnamon buns, and I'm going to cook them in the air fryer. So I think this is a super cool recipe. So what we're going to do is we have our deluxe cooking blender, which does so many functions. I'm going to just open this up, and I'll talk about it in a second. And I'm going to take 1.5 cups of flour. So these are my great easy read measuring cups. They come in a set of 3. I'm going to dump that into the blender and set that aside. Then it calls for 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So I've got my 1/2 teaspoon going in. Make it super easy. I already have them all in there. And then I'm going to do my 1 teaspoon. These are our stackable measuring spoons, guys. And they're amazing because they stack all up, and then you don't lose them in your drawers. So they look like this when you have them all nicely stacked. All right, so it comes from like 1/4 teaspoon, 1/8 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon. Okay, so we've got the baking powder in. So this is just a super easy dough, guys. And of course you can make so many things with this dough. And there's a really cool ingredient going into it, and I'm gonna show you in a second. So then I'm gonna do my 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna go over the blender in case I spill over. It's not the end of the world. Oh, I spilled over a little bit. That's okay. I'm maybe not going to put in that much salt. I'm going to stop there. Whatever. All good. Then throw salt over my shoulder. All right. Then I'm going to add in just 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, so that's what the recipe calls for. Now this recipe is on my website, guys, and it is in underneath just 5-minute dough. You'll find it really easy. I just printed it off as well. So there it is there. 5-minute dough. All right, so I've got all the ingredients there. Now I've got that really cool ingredient that I'm going to show you guys. Yogurt. Yeah, so we used yogurt, no water. So this is our easy, our measure all cup. And this guy, for sticky things like yogurt and peanut butter and molasses, things like this is great. So this is 1 cup going right into the dough mixture here. And then I'm going to take my scraper, which is always handy. Scrape all that so there's no waste, guys. And this comes in a 2 cup. This is the 2 cup. There's a 1 cup, and there's a little mini one as well. And on the other side, you can do liquid. So this is legendary. We've had this around forever. So if you're a Pampered Chef fan, you probably have one of these, if not more. So then I'm going to basically just put that in like so. And the yogurt. So you can flavor this dough. If you had vanilla yogurt, you could do that. I just had the Greek plain yogurt. You could even do, if you're doing a flatbread, you can use put a little bit of pesto, homemade pesto or store-bought pesto in the yogurt. Flavor it up, throw it in if you're doing like an Italian flatbread. Oh my gosh. Fresh rosemary, all that kind of stuff. But of course, we're not doing that today with the cinnamon buns. We could have used vanilla yogurt, or I could even put a little bit of cinnamon. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I like to improvise. I'm gonna take some of our cinnamon, and I'm gonna just put a little dash. It's not gonna sweeten it, but it's gonna flavor it. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my lid. Okay, super excited to show this, guys. It's gonna be a little loud, but no worries. I'm gonna turn that over. So I'm gonna basically go to the grind. Okay, the grind was where you can make homemade peanut butter, and you can do all kinds of nut butters. I'm gonna start that, get that rolling, so you can see. Just going to tidy up in a little second. Watch this come together. Takes a couple of seconds. You gotta give it a minute. This blender, guys, it makes hot soup, all right? So you can put all your ingredients in here, and you can make soup in 30 minutes because it has a heating element in it. It makes homemade jam. It has a jam function, the only one on the market. It does heated purees. It does Alfredo sauces, all kinds of sauces. So I'm just going to help tamper it down a little bit. This comes with a tamper. Open that up. Who wants to knead dough? If you don't have the big KitchenAid a mixer. This is awesome. Okay. I'm gonna have a quick peek at that. Yeah, that is dough. And this is ready to be used. So I'm gonna take this. Here guys, have a look. Voila, right? So I'm gonna put that on my floured pastry mat. Now I love this pastry mat. So I'm gonna move this out of the way so you guys can see. Get some stuff out of the way here. Quickly. Definitely need to get a kitchen island one day. It's coming, it's on my wish list. So as you guys can see, much better. So I'm gonna take the dough. I've got some flour on the surface here on my pastry mat, which I absolutely love. Oh my goodness, it comes out in one big chunk. Like amazing, right? So I'm gonna take that, put that aside. So this Flex cooking blender is really amazing, you guys. It's so cool. So I'm going to start by just got some flour on the bottom. Not gonna do too much to it. And then I've got some flour on the top, okay? So you don't really have to knead it, guys. In this case, because what we're making is some cinnamon rolls and it is ready to go. So you can use your baker's roller if you have that from Pampered Chef. I'm gonna use the marble roller today. It's a very bougie roller, I think. And I'm going to, that's what I like to call it. And it calls for, so this is 1.5 cups of flour, which should make about six cinnamon buns. So the idea is that we want to get it long, all right, so that they kind of spread out if you do the dough long or versus more wide, but I definitely need to go a bit wider as well. Now, if you just wanted to make like a quick snack and just do like even half of these, you can do that as well in the air fryer. So and you can just cut the dough in half with the ingredients. So I'm just gonna keep going here. Oh, it's so silky, the dough. So you want nice and silky, that's the idea. And look at that, guys. So great for flatbreads, pizzas, all kinds of stuff, you know. I wanted to do a bit of pizza, but my kids said they needed to have the six cinnamon buns. All right, so the marble roller, it's like very nice and beautiful, sits on my counter here in the kitchen. It has a nice weight to it, so there's not very much pressure when you roll, guys. So that's really cool. And the temperature, because it's marble, it kind of doesn't stick to your dough. Do you guys see that? Like there's no sticking. I hardly had any flour going on there. So let's see now. Probably want to go a little longer. It's going to be nice and big. Okay, a little longer than that. Comes with a little stand as well, so I'll set that aside there so that doesn't roll off your counter, of course. These are big. Okay, probably should put that back on there. So, right. Then love this pastry mat. It rolls right up, and then whenever you need it, you just basically roll it back out. It never kind of curls up, which is really cool. Then I'm going to take some melted butter. I'm using my prep bowl, of course. I melted a little bit of butter, and I'm going to just drizzle that on with my basting brush. So another great must-have Pampered Chef product. And so you can use butter, softened butter as well. You could do that. You can also and then melting it up just a little bit will help moisten the dough, okay? So this is what I decided to do, but I had some soft butter as well. So I'm going to take all that butter and drizzle it over. Can't have too much butter, right? We're gonna be a little naughty today anyway, so might as well enjoy and have it nice and moist. So I'm going to keep going here. Da-da-da-da. I love the blender making the dough for me. I don't think I'm gonna ever buy dough again. I love that ingredient, the yogurt. I think it's so cool. So then, and I've done that before. I've made it and I've kneaded it with my hands. All right, so now we are going to add on some brown sugar. So just another little Pampered Chef, the brown sugar keeper, my brown sugar, guys. Just in a bag. I don't even have a fancy little container for it. It's all nice and soft. So I'm going to sprinkle it on. So it calls for about 2/3 to about a cup of butter, or sorry, brown sugar, I mean. So I'm gonna just sprinkle on. This is where I kind of get into that. I'm not gonna really measure. I'm just going to make sure it kind of fills up the dough area that I've rolled out. Okay. Now I'm not a big sugar person, so I'm not gonna go too crazy, but definitely want it to have its nice amount of sweetness. So any of those lumps you can just press out. You just spread that brown sugar on, and you can be as generous as you want with the sugar, or as lenient as you want. So probably we need to add a little bit more, so about 2/3 cup or more. Just gonna sprinkle on some here, like so. So quick, easy cinnamon rolls made in the air fryer. I am making for you guys today, showing you off some great Pampered Chef tools. Now, get my hands all full of sugar. I'm gonna take some cinnamon and just sprinkle that on. And we like cinnamon in my family, so I'm gonna be generous with that as well. But if you guys are not your family, then you just do a little bit. Of course, you wanna have some cinnamon in there. Okay, all right. Now, I am going to start to roll it, tuck it in. If you guys can see this, I'm pretty sure you can, yeah. So you wanna roll it and tuck as you go. Roll and tuck, roll and tuck. Okay, so nice and slow. All right, just like so. This is exciting. Oh my goodness. It's fun too. Okay, so I am just getting to the end there. So perfect. Oh my goodness, how easy was that? Wow. So now I'm gonna take my cutting board, because for the pastry mat, you definitely don't wanna cut on that, right? So you wanna take your dough, super easy, on your cutting board, and basically I'm going to just slice it down the middle, okay, to make my even cinnamon buns, and I'm gonna slice it again, like so, right down, super easy to cut. Alrighty. That's what they look like, okay? So then I'm gonna take, okay, so this is fun. I'm gonna take my cast iron, yes, the blue that everyone is loving, the Tiffany blue I call it, and I'm going to add a little bit of butter. So you can do butter or oil. So I'm just gonna take some of that melted butter, and I'm going to quickly spread that around. And so this is our 1 quart cast iron pan, guys, and people are going crazy for this. So it is beautiful, and I've got the gray one as well, and I've got, of course, the cast iron pot too. So then I'm going to take my cinnamon rolls like so, and I will show you what they look like, and just place them in like so, and they all fit in there. So actually, how many did I get? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I got 8. I was expecting 6. Wow, okay, that's awesome. And they'll spread out there nicely. Voila. Doesn't that look great? And look what I did in like not even just a couple of minutes. So what I'm gonna do now, guys, is I'm gonna put it in my air fryer on the bottom. I'm gonna kind of put it in sideways. So if you don't have our air fryer yet, don't worry, they're coming back. But if you want, of course, you can make this recipe right in the, one keeps falling over, right in the oven. I'm gonna have to go this way with it, perfect. And I'm going to set it to bake. And I'm gonna set it for about 13 minutes and see where that gets me. All right, so that is how to make easy, fast cinnamon buns from scratch in your air fryer using the Deluxe Cooking Blender. And that took next to nothing, right guys? So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, definitely message below. And also I will show the finished products. I'll take some pictures, of course. And oh, for icing quickly, I'm just going to put in the icing recipe quickly. I'll show you is a cup of icing. This is the measuring cup to the top. I'm just going a little less. And I only have cream, but you can use milk, or you can use water, but I'm gonna use the cream. About 2 tablespoons. I'm just gonna do 3 teaspoons. Mix that together. So I usually just make icing with a little bit of water and a little bit of icing sugar, but I'm gonna do a little bit more bougie. I'm gonna add in a little bit of vanilla because this is the recipe that I was given. So I'm gonna go for a little dash of vanilla for extra flavoring, why not? And I've got my milk in there. And I think it called for a little bit of butter too, actually. A little bit of melted butter in there. So why not? That's gonna make it so creamy and delicious. So then you have your icing. And if I don't have enough of this, it's just a matter of going back and getting a little bit more. That's your nice icing, nice and thick with that flavoring agent of the vanilla and a little bit of that butter. Puts it nicely together. And then when they come out, I'm gonna drizzle that, of course, all over. And I'm gonna have a happy family. So thanks for watching again, guys. That's how you make quick, easy cinnamon buns. Thanks for watching. See you online.